welcome to the Weekly Muse. I am your host, Tonya D, and thanks for joining me. On today's Musing Show, I'm going to share some ideas about shapes and the meanings behind them. When I stood there, I saw more than I could tell, and I understand more than I saw, for I was seeing in a sacred manner the shape of all things in the spirit, and the shape of all shapes, as they must live together like one being. Who can afford to live without beauty? Beauty fills us with passion. It graces us with joy and lights up our existence. A landscape, a piece of music, a film, a dance. Suddenly, all dreariness is gone. We are left bewitched. We are dazzled. We get lost in despair, and beauty takes us back to center. With that said, if you are watching the replay or are new to my Musing live show, my musings are random, however, they do circulate. And I invite you to like my What's Up Tonya D page on Facebook or even my YouTube channel, Tonya D, for my weekly musings and videos there too. What are sacred shapes? According to Carl Jung, the powerful forces of the unconscious appear not just in clinical material, but also in mythological and religious, artistic, and in all other activities humankind uses to experience itself. Jung advocated the symbol as the psychological mechanism that transforms energy. Where Joseph Campbell states, it is the artist who brings the images of mythology into manifestation, and without images, whether mental or visual, there is no mythology. It is the artist within us that communicates our own mythology through thoughts and feelings expressed in painting, sculpture, writing, musing, and dance. Using these, along with other media, we reveal ourselves, our concept of beauty, and what is culturally important to us. Some believe that most of our communication is nonverbal and is manifested through symbols and myths. The human ability to use stores and visual images to communicate is continuing to evolve according to time, place, culture, and person. Communication and media have gone through their own awakening. Originally, Aristotle stated that the soul never thinks without an image, but others put Aristotle's thought into a modern context and wrote, in a brief span in history, humankind's communication tools have evolved from smoke signals and drums to television and satellite. Human interaction is characterized by continuous updating of the meaning of symbols. As it awakens and evolves, human nature demands new and improved ways of communicating, using both the old and the new media, such as the internet and computers. In the 5th century BC, Pythagoras insisted that sound produces geometry and in between shapes lies music, and that music creates shape and form. In 1787, Ernst Chladni produced visible structures from sound waves, a phenomenon furthered centuries later by Dr. Hans Jenny, who oscillated pulses which in turn formed beautiful shapes in the sand. This process of transforming sound into shape is called somatics, and it's the basis of the research done by Emoto, who sent positive and negative messages into water, and then he photographed the way the water's molecular crystals changed in the response. And he found that positive words such as faith and love and positive messages and beautiful harmonious music such as Mozart's symphony, transformed water crystals into an amazing, lovely hexagonal shape. While negative responses or messages like, you make me sick, warps the structure of the molecule. So based on his research, Emoto believed that water crystals in their highest form create hexagonal shapes. And this occurs when they are attuned with the nature or spiritual truths. When expressed to lower sounds or ideas, they're literally out of tune and appear shapeless and even ugly. Somatics and Emoto's research show that sound and shapes are intimately connected. Like sounds, shapes can produce healing effects, inner energetic fields. A shape is a pattern. It regulates the energy flow around and within that boundary and instructs your body's electrical energy to respond. By shifting the energy of your field, you can change the energy and the health of your body and your mind. Coming soon, The Energy Body Demystified. It's my new online course that I'm creating right now. It's balancing the inner and outer energetic world. This is actually stage 1 of a series of courses on energetics, awakening your genius, and so much more. I'm super excited to be working on this. So with all that, many researchers have actually gone on to demonstrate the amazing effects of geometrical shapes. And I myself use shapes to heal different energetic centers and patterns based on sacred geometry. And just shapes in of themselves. And yes, I know that sounds a bit hokey, and I'm sure a lot of woo-woo, but it's true. It's just what I do. With shapes, you can empower any of your 4 boundaries by visualizing a shape around it. Meditate on a shape or psychically view the shape of your overall field and the shapes within your field too. You can also visualize shapes being inserted into your energy field for various outcomes too. Even wearing clothes that incorporate specific shapes can produce desired effects in your physical energetic field, as can hanging pictures or decorating your space with items that are or you use with that applicable shape. It's the art of feng shui. It's kind of the basis of it. Where primary shapes, even though there are hundreds of different shapes in the world, there are 3 basic ones: the square, the circle, and the triangle. A square is the symbol of strength and stability, and the corners contain the most active energy, where stimulation reactions when they are actually touching something or even someone. And if you want to manifest something, visualize a square with the request within it and outside of it, the corners touching all parts of the bigger image. Inserting a square or even a smaller shape like a rectangle into an energetic center or a field will protect, ground, and stabilize you. If or when you psychically examine your energy field or an energy center, you find a small square lodged within it, see if there's a substance within that shape. Whatever you find within the square is something that you are storing, repressing, or even hiding. And we often conceal our feelings, our beliefs, our memories, even other people's energies, part of our soul and our dreams. And if you repress enough feelings, you'll create depression. And I often find that human beings put their spiritual gifts into a square or even a rectangle, like a secret hidden treasure box of sorts. And we all have spiritual insights, and how they manifest is different for each of us. And I invite you to set your box free and actually open it up. These gifts and abilities are often stored inside or near the energy center that reflects them. So these gifts are manifesting, your 1st chakra; creativity and compassion, your 2nd chakra; administrative and mental acuity or clarity, your 3rd chakra; healing and relating to others, your 4th chakra; communicating, including your voice, writing, and even music, your 5th chakra; visioning and strategy, your 6th chakra; creating good out of bad, ministering to others, your 7th chakra; shamanic healing and journeying in your 8th center; creating harmony where there is dissension, your 9th center; applying natural elements and forces for good, such as nature-based healing, your 10th center; and commanding natural and supernatural forces and serving as a leader, your 11th center. Now, warped squares, or those with broken sides or cut off corners, signify incomplete protection or boundary violations, or even undeveloped abilities, gifts, or even thoughts. And we need to repair these squares so that they can resume their correct purpose. Circles. Circles promote relationships, harmony, and connection, and a circle envisioned between two or more people or living beings invites an exchange of energy. So check the energy and watch my previous musing show, The Sacred Garden. If it's bright and loving, the swap is positive. If it's negative or dark, the exchange is hurting you and could be creating a problem. Establishing a circle around ourselves or through any or all of our energetic boundaries will emphasize wholeness and send energy of love to others. It will also create a sacred circle, a protected space that only love can enter. And you can also psychically draw a circle around a part of you, such as your inner child or an idea, and keep it secure, or a need or a desire or even healing energy to actually bolster it. If you constantly pick up on energy from others or the environment, you can even go a step further and imagine a circle drawn under your feet and moving everywhere that you move. And this circle will cleanse the ground you walk on, shimmer upward through your entire field, deflecting negative energies. And who doesn't want that? However, a broken circle sandwiched in your energy field or extending between you and someone else indicates a broken relationship and potentially betrayal or heartbreak for you. But if you fix the circle, you fix the relationship. However, before you do, you want to make sure that you want the relationship back. It might be in your best interest and the other person's to actually dissolve the circle completely. Where smaller circles within a field or in the body might be holding your relationship issues too. Your true feelings about a relationship or a part of you that you don't want to reveal. And if you find a circle within an energy boundary, check to see what substances or energies are inside those circles. Now, a spiral is a form of a circle. A counterclockwise spiral brings energy out, so they can be used to take energies away from our field, where a clockwise spiral brings energy in, so they can be used to attach us to sources of positive energies. Certain cords or codependent contracts are held in place or vibrate in a circular form. If the energy is spiraling clockwise, it is bringing energy, most likely undesirable to you. If counterclockwise, it is actually costing you energy. Triangles. Triangles are related to the pyramid, and a triangle represents creativity, mental activity, and connection with the Great Spirit or the Divine, whatever you so choose to call it, your higher power, purpose. And a triangle will intensify or amplify energy, so you need to be careful about what you energetically put into it. It can increase debt or abundance, disease or healing. You can use a triangle around your body to promote activity and growth. For example, say you want to write a book. Take a piece of your idea and insert it in a triangle and watch your creativity explode. I use triangles a lot when healing and transformation is needed. A broken or spotted triangle indicates misfiring, a place where you're not thinking logically or even appropriately. And a broken triangle connecting you and someone else, a job, your finances, or a project can indicate that you aren't accurately perceiving what's occurring or that your interactions are off and they actually need to be fixed. But a triangle within an energy center or the body will enable your creativity within that related center, inviting a higher perspective, security, and room for growth. However, a cross or an X is a form of a cross, symbolizing the magical properties of a crossroads. And when seen in a cross form, such as the letter T in the shape, the cross represents protection. It bars the doorway to negativity and protects from both visible and invisible bandits. An X also obstructs or blocks, but depending on the reason that it's present, it can also block wisdom, truth, and love as well. Consider the use of the Nazi swastika. By reversing the flow of the cross and making it more of an X than a T, the Nazis erased their followers' free will and inserted a message in their energetic boundaries. When seeing an X in someone's energy field or center, it's an energy marker telling the world to mistreat them in some way. And these imprints can keep us from meeting a mate, making money, getting a job, or even healing. And they often indicate the presence of a syndrome because energy markers uphold repetitive energetic patterns. So it's important to erase these energy markers to free yourself from old patterns. Meanings of shapes to enhance your spirit. The circle is wholeness. A square is foundation. A rectangle is protection. A triangle is preservation and immortality. Spiral creation and cycles. 5-pointed stars, alchemy and movement. 6-pointed stars, resurrection. A cross is human divine connection and spiritual protection. Harmful shapes, where an altered circle causes hurt, injury, damage, or separations. An altered square used to overthrow or topple systems. An altered rectangle imprisons or exposes you to danger, where an altered triangle creates illness, disease, imbalance, and even death. An altered spiral forces abrupt endings and a halt of cycles or even rhythms. An altered 5-pointed star stifles, it contains, and it suffocates or makes a base. An altered 6-pointed star causes stickiness, despair, and depression. And an altered cross accentuates your ego or ceases extreme dejection or rejection. So to recap the shapes, in every culture, the circle symbolizes wholeness and the experience of unity. And when people are engaged in the search for wholeness, they aspire to independence and individuation. What they need most is space, room in which to find themselves and develop their own identity. What they fear most is actually entrapment or being caught in a situation that will restrict or even restrain them. So those people who are undergoing the process of individuation will feel loved and trusted when allowed plenty of space. And if the space they need is not offered to them, they will simply just take it. And when the process of individuation is resisted or not allowed to come to a resolution, it might become intensely self-absorbing or even narcissistic. And the cross, or the plus sign, it universally symbolizes the process of relationship and integration. It's a coupling, it's synthesizing, it's integrating, and it's a balancing process. And this process carries the need for connection to a creative project, to a group, to another person, or even to oneself. It's the symbol that demonstrates the integration and the balanced connection. So people who favor the cross will place emphasis on the quality, not the quantity of time they share with others. Experiencing balance will be an essential goal for them, and these individuals will often ask for a specific meeting time. They love collaborative work, and they equate quality of time spent in the company of colleagues and close friends with love and with trust. And for others who want to support people or who are in the cross process, it's important to be responsive to their stated needs and to honor their request for shared time and activities, to be cooperative and to express caring. Because the underlying fear associated with the process of relationship is actually the fear of loss, abandonment, and isolation. So when the process of relationship or needing connection is taken to the extreme, personal identity can be lost if the individual tries to live life through another person or even through a group. The spiral symbolizes the process of growth and change, evolution. It's a process of coming to the same point again and again and again, but at a different level, so that everything is seen in a new light. The result is actually a new perspective on issues or people and places. And so those involved in the spiral process have a strong need for variety, novelty, and change. They dread routine and they're capable of doing multiple tasks well. Creative and ingenious, they're adept at initiating and following up on projects. Although they may have some difficulty completing them, the challenge of this process is to grow and develop at different levels of awareness. During times of change, creativity is required to handle life situations and challenges with integrity, more importantly. Flexibility is the major requirement for relating to people who are deep in the spiral process. And it's important that other people be open to new options not previously considered. The task is to support the change rather than to hinder it. So people in this process will feel loved and trusted when others share the excitement about the variety of options that they are considering. They flourish when their capacity to do a variety of tasks is well acknowledged. However, if they're allowed to go to an extreme, the process can lead to an amateur dabbler, to a superficial exploration of many things all at once. And it might be interpreted by others as a pattern of creating chaos to experience momentary excitement and to escape boredom. And the triangle is associated with pyramids, arrowheads, and even sacred mountains, and it carries the theme of self-discovery and revelation. This shape stands for goals, visions, and dreams. So people experiencing the triangle process are intensely focused on identifying and pursuing a goal, where attaining it is extremely important to them, and they have an innate gift of vision to pursue. And they'll persevere despite substantial obstacles and delays for as long as their goals have meaning for them. They need to avoid becoming so absorbed in their plans for the future that they accomplish nothing in the present. And this is actually a pitfall of the triangular process if it gets taken to the excess. So people in this process will feel loved and accepted when others share and value the visions they hold. Relationships will benefit when family and friends express respect and tangible support for the visions and goals that this person is pursuing. The triangle is the universal shape that's associated with attainment of desired goals and with the ability to envision new possibilities, because many people have either achieved or abandoned their earlier goals by midlife. So this envisioning process revealed by the triangle might become a predominant requirement for them as they're faced with the need to redream or revision the purpose of their lives. Success in revisioning can lead to a burst of energy for these new pursuits. The square symbolizes stability, solidity, and security, and the act of drawing a square mirrors perfectly the process of constructing a foundation. And Harriet Beecher Stowe validates the positive aspects of the square process when she says, to be really great in little things, to be truly noble and heroic in the insipid details of everyday life, is a virtue so rare as to be worthy of canonization. So those attracted to the square they're ready to build, they're implementing a plan, and they want to manifest their ideas. And these people have a strong need for consistency or accountability, and more importantly, completion. And their fear is that nothing will be accomplished and that their efforts will only be a waste of time and energy, because they want results and they value integrity and authenticity, as well as responsibility and accountability. Congruity is especially important for them. Now, there's a plethora of information on shapes and symbols, and I invite you to pay attention to the signs of these and what they might be trying to express to you too. Fire is represented by the triangle. The square is the earth element. The circle is metal or mineral, so think of stones. Wavy shapes or even the spiral is the expression of water, and wood or nature is represented by the triangle. And if you're interested in scheduling a session for energy healing, a shaman divination, subscribe to my list. Visit tonyad.tv. I do weekly emails, podcasts. This year is the nature series, along with this live musing show. And almost out the gate and ready for you is Soliciting Solitude, your corridor to an inward journey, where I stage all of my meditations for my online courses. And you can check that out at the library at club.tonyad.tv and be a part of a community of like-minded musers on a private Facebook page exclusive to members of my Musing Club. And as always, thanks for joining me, liking, engaging, and always for musing. Keep joining me weekly on What's Up Tonya D for my weekly musings too. Cheers!